This is a novel that speaks to the heart of the human experience, raw, tender, and deeply emotional. It's an exploration of love, identity, and the vulnerabilities that come with both. This story takes us through the early stages of a relationship, capturing the beauty and uncertainty of falling in love. It's about the courage to be vulnerable, to open yourself up to someone else, and to experience both the joy and the anxiety that come with it. What I love about this book is how it blends the internal and external struggles, showing how personal challenges and broader societal issues intersect in ways that shape us. The writing is lyrical and poetic, almost like it's set to a soundtrack. Each page feels like it's flowing with rhythm and emotion. The exploration of love and intimacy, coupled with the author's stunning prose, makes this book a truly memorable read for anyone navigating the complexities of life in their 20s. To give you a taste of this hauntingly beautiful writing, I want to read a section that really captures the essence of Open Water. You and the woman meet in a bar 2 days before 2017 comes to a close. You suggested the location, but you are late. Only by a minute or two, but late. You apologize. She doesn't seem to mind much. You embrace, and the conversation flows freely as you climb a set of stairs, travel up an escalator. You're a little breathless, a little sweaty, but if she notices, she doesn't say anything, not with her mouth nor roving eyes. When you settle down, it's on a green felt sofa made of two halves. You dance through topics like two old friends, finding comfort in a language which is instantly familiar. You create a small world for yourselves, and for you both only, sitting on this sofa, looking out at the world which has a tendency to engulf even the most alive. Last time we met, you said you were a photographer, she says. No, someone told you I was a photographer, and I squirmed at the idea, you say. Why? You did the same when your dancing was brought up? You didn't answer my question. I dunno, you say. But yeah, I take photographs on the other side of the window. Piccadilly bustles. A man swells his bagpipes, the sound drifting up towards you. Friday evening, and the city is bordering on frenzy, unsure of what to do with itself. I guess you start up. I guess it's like knowing that you are something and wanting to protect that. I know I'm a photographer, but if someone else says I'm that, it changes things because what they think about me isn't what I think about me. Sorry, I'm rambling. I get what you're saying. But why does what someone else thinks about you change what you think about you? It shouldn't. You're very good at not answering questions, am I? I don't mean to be. I'm playing with you, she says, and indeed the smile in your direction is light and teasing. You pause, frowning to yourself as you reach for the right expression. You can't live in a vacuum. And when you let people in and you make yourself vulnerable, they're able to have an effect on you. If that makes sense, it does. What about you? The dancing thing? Maybe later. We keep digressing. We do. What do you think? About my idea? I want to document people, Black people. Archiving is important, I think. But as I said, I don't know the first thing about photography, and it would be cool to have you involved. Could be cool to do together, you say, letting the silence stretch and hold. Yeah, no, I don't think I want to do it. Huh? Less of a question, more an involuntary noise. She sinks into the sofa, covering her whole self with her coat, and you watch it rise and fall like a duvet over a sleeping body. Hey, you say. A forehead appears, followed by a strong set of eyebrows and a pair of eyes, wary and watchful. You watch her struggle with her discomfort. I'm joking. I'll do it. I want to do it. The struggle continues, and when her face changes, it is because of reluctant appreciation. A gesture meeting her match. I hate you. So much. So much. She checks the time. You've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. Should we have a drink? To celebrate this new partnership? I need a drink. You're glad she asked. You move from the mezzanine to the ground floor of the bar. The night is trailing after you, unable to keep up. A pair of low bowled glasses sits half full on the table in front of you. They aren't your first or second or third drink. You are a little dizzy, trying to grasp what is happening. Much of your joy is lost in the need to hold it intact, so you try to dull that voice which needs clarity, taking another sip. This is fine, you think. This feels right. She returns from the toilet, taking long strides towards you. The reflection of Leicester Square's lights dances on the glass. She reaches up, fingertips grazing the window, as if light is something that can be held. As she does so, her balance shifts, and her head makes a slow descent into your lap, coming to rest for a tender moment. And as she comes, she goes, giggling as she rises up to reach for the elegant glow. This night is also the first you see the lazy sheer sheen which sits on her eyes when she's been drinking. Sweet conversation from sour lips, the salt on the rim of the glass perched on the tongue. Later, you are in the Shake Shack next to Leicester Square. You stand in the queue, 2 sheets to the wind, swaying in a man-made breeze. You pay for the food she bought the last round of drinks and huddle together on a pair of high chairs. She orders a burger with chopped chilies, cheesy fries which she can't finish, and insists you do. She hates wasting food. During the first few bites, she untangles a pair of white headphones and offers an ear, slender fingers dancing across her phone screen, searching for music. And now, let's ask the general public. Was anyone in Shake Shack that night? Did anyone else see or hear to strangers performing their truths for each other? Did they fill the pockets of the beat? Did they ride Kendrick's jazz-infused masterpiece with the same energy he intended? On the way back to southeast London, a small joy, but a joy nonetheless. You ricochet through the dark underbelly of London. Noisy, black, hot, and hellish. You peel back layers like a hand splitting the soft flesh of fruit. Beside you, she once more is working on a sailor's knot in her earphones. The hitch comes undone with a silent twang, and she slides one bud in her ear, the other in yours. 2 people closing a distance made shorter by the trailing wires, holding them together. What's your favorite song? She asks, having to lean in to make herself heard over the underground. Above ground, you are comfortable with the theatrics of playing yourselves. When she tells you she attended the concert in question, you walk away for a moment, returning to her, feigning playful anger, feeling real envy. You speak, quick and urgent, as you weave down the uneven cobbles towards embankment. My best friend had a pair of tickets and agreed I could have the other. But the day before, he'd been like, there's a girl. Ah, if it makes it any better, he is such a good performer. Cheers, you seem upset, she says, unable to control the smile from tugging on her lips. I am, and she listens, carefully, as you describe the significance of Isaiah Rashad's debut album, listing his influences and dissecting his musical style with breathless excitement. He's like an outcast by way of J Dilla, with a sprinkle of Gil, the soul of an Eiley brother, so much soul in his music, you can really feel it, no? What? Nothing. She's grinning as you follow her through the ticket barrier. You don't tell her that the album had soundtracked your previous summer. You don't tell her that you had repeated the song Brenda, an ode to the artist's grandma, so much so that you knew when the bass line would begin to slide under the strum of guitar chords, when the trumpet would riff and reverb, when there was a break. A slight pause where the music fell loose from its tightly wound rhythm. You don't tell her that it was there, in the slight pauses, that you were able to breathe, not even realizing you were holding air in, but you were. There would be a moment where you exhaled and a small, sad smile spread on your face as you struggled to contain your own loss. Below ground, you scroll through the track list and point instead towards Rope Rose Gold. She nods appreciatively. Mines Park. Such a big song. She wheels up your favorite first and locks her phone screen, turning up the volume as loud as it will go. You both know all the words. So much soul. A black couple watch on, amused, as the pair of you play rapper for the short journey. Embankment to Victoria. A song's worth. You make it worth it, swaying with the twists and turns of the carriage, catching the swing of the rhythm, sitting in the pocket of the beat. A small joy, but a joy nonetheless. You feel you have never been strangers. You do not want to leave each other, because to leave is to have the thing die in its current form, and there is something in this that neither is willing to relinquish. The view from her balcony, London's glittering skyline. You feel comfortable here. You feel at home. Tea, she asks from the kitchen. You nod, walking across the living room to touch the glass. As if light is something you can hold, as if this is a painting you could touch. She appears noiselessly beside you. How long have you lived here? I'm jealous. Couple years. It's all right, isn't it? She hands you a mug and signals to her sofa. You both sit on opposite ends, knees pushed towards your chests, careful not to breach the border of the bisecting cushion. Except you both know something has opened, like pressing at a tea bag and gazing into the cup to find the leaves swarming through boiling water. Your mum is hilarious, you say. She's not usually that friendly with strangers, she says, sliding her legs out to sit in the space beside you. She closes her eyes and lets an almighty yawn stretch through the silence. It's contagious, and she laughs as the baton is passed in a race only sleep will win. Her phone buzzes. A sound slips from her that you cannot quite work out. Are you okay? I think Samuel is coming over. Ah, right. Right. Reality. I should go. No, it's cool. You should finish your tea at least. I don't want to impose. The doorbell rings. After the door opens and shuts, after the fumbling of shoes being taken off, Samuel enters the living room. The night you all met in the basement of that southeast London pub returns to you. That need to know that woman, the way you insisted towards her. It was Samuel who engineered this meeting tonight. His girlfriend asked if he knew any photographers and you were who he thought of first. But you're gazing at Samuel now and the shame is intense. Feigned surprise on his face. Oh, hey, you say. I've heard you had quite a night. We did. It was real nice. I'm sure it was, Samuel says. He walks over to his girlfriend, giving her a quick peck. I'm gonna make some tea. You turn to her. I'm gonna head. I'll see you out, she says. From the kitchen, Samuel watches you watching her. You are careful not to breach a border, except you all know something has opened. The seed you pushed deep into the ground has blossomed in the wrong season. You think of how you will tell this story to those who ask, because there will be questions. You wonder if it felt right will be sufficient. You wonder if the defense of nothing happened will be sufficient. It is the early hours of the morning. She dons an enormous green coat and walks you down the stairs. The night is as warm as her embrace, and as you pull away, she asks, will you text me? Of course. And that's Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson, a beautifully raw and lyrical exploration of love, vulnerability, and identity. It's a book that speaks to the quiet anxieties of navigating life, especially in your 20s, when everything feels like it's either falling into place or falling apart. What I love about this book is how it captures those moments of doubt, the fragility of our emotions, and the way love both lifts us up and makes us question ourselves. It's a story about connection, about what it means to be seen, to be known, and to love deeply even when it feels uncertain. If you're looking for something that captures the essence of feeling lost and found in love, in your own skin, and in the world around you, Open Water might just be the book you need right now. It's an experience more than just a read, one that stays with you long after you close the cover. So take a moment, breathe, and let this story remind you that it's okay to be unsure. After all, the beauty of being in your 20s is that you're always figuring things out. And sometimes, that's the most powerful thing you can do. Until next time, keep reading and take care.